joining. Let's get started. So I'd like you just to find yourself on your mat today and get some height if you can for underneath your pelvis. So I have a bolster, you can take a blanket or a pillow or something. So I wanted to dedicate today's practice to AHIMSA, which means nonviolence. And AHIMSA is actually the first part of the 8 limbs of yoga in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. There are 8 limbs. The first limb are the Yamas, which are disciplines to the self. And then the first Yama is AHIMSA, which is nonviolence. So therefore I think it's considered pretty important. So as you're getting settled in, I just want to read you the first sutra on AHIMSA in the Yoga Sutras. So I have this book, Light on the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali by B.K.S. Iyengar. And so Sutra 2.35 in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras reads, Ahimsa pratisthayam tatsanidau vairachyaga. And that means, according to Iyengar's translation, when nonviolence in speech, thought, and action is established, one's aggressive nature is relinquished, and others abandon hostility in one's presence. And I'll just read a little bit more. When the yogi has thoroughly understood the nature of violence, he is established firmly in the practice of nonviolence. Peace in words, thoughts, and deeds, whether awake or dreaming, is a sign of goodwill and love towards all. In the vicinity of a yogi, men and animals who are otherwise violent and antipathetic towards each other abandon their hostility and exhibit friendliness and mutual tolerance. So I thought today we could just consider the notion of ahimsa during our yoga practice. And not only is ahimsa outward violence towards others physically, but it's also violence in our own thoughts towards others or ourselves, and our own feelings towards others or ourselves. And so it's important as a yogi to think about how your inner environment, how you treat yourself, how you talk to yourself, and how you treat your body, because that will inevitably extend into the outer world of how you treat others. So today's class will just be a little bit more gentle and a little bit more mindful on ourselves and on our thoughts. So let's start in a seated position with our legs crossed, and I like to have our hips higher than our knees for this one, because you don't want to feel any gripping in your hip flexors, because that in itself can be violent towards our physical bodies. So we're just going to sit here, lengthen your spine, bring your head over your shoulders, and start to notice your breath. You can just notice your unconditioned breath. How are you breathing today? Your breath can be a big clue into your nervous system, how you're doing stress-wise. We have an opportunity here to just be. We often get on our mats and want to do yoga, but let's just pause the doing and just be for a few moments here. keeping our awareness on our breath. And start to deepen your breathing, expanding fully into the lower lobes of your lungs. And maybe sighing it out. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale. And now let's tuck your chin towards your chest. You can bring your thumb and your forefinger together. Just bowing our minds and our heads to our hearts. And getting a nice little stretch along the back of our necks. And do a few audible breaths here. We call them ujjayi breaths. And then gently lift your chin and open your eyes. Okay, we're going to start with some gentle spine movements. So let's inhale as you lift your chest and arch your back. And exhale, round, tucking your tailbone. Inhale, arching. And exhale, round. A few more at your own pace with your own breath. Just really listening in to what your body would really enjoy right now. And then gently find yourself back to your center. Take a breath. And we'll do twisting next. So inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist. We'll do it moving at first, and then at the end we'll do some nice holds. First we're just moving with the breath, getting things warmed up and lubricated. Our focus is inward on our breath and on our inner being and our inner body. And next time you find yourself to the right, we're going to hold for 3 breaths. And gently switch. Good, and inhale back to center. Deep breath here. And we'll move into some side bending. So inhale, lift your right arm overhead, and exhale to the left. Stretching. And we'll move a few times. Inhale through center, and exhale to the right. Again, moving with your own breath, your own rhythm. And then next time you're over to the left, you can hold for a few breaths, inching your way a little further. And switch. A few breaths on the other side. And back to center. And take a breath here. Lengthening your spine. And then we'll just move a little bit. So just move like however feels good. You can roll your shoulders. You can roll your neck. Just noticing if we've even already opened up some space in your lungs. Okay. So let's find ourselves on our backs. And just bend your knees up to 90-90. Arms out to the side in a T. And just start to rock your knees side to side. And you can start small and get bigger. Again, we're just listening in to our own individual bodies and seeing what we need today. So you might want some big sweeping motions, or maybe just some gentle, small movements today. Good. Okay, now roll onto one side, and we're going to come to all fours. And we'll do our cat-cow. So we'll inhale, look up, and then exhale, round. Feeling the movement in your pelvis as you tuck your tail and stick your tail out. And also in your shoulder blades as you press the floor away and draw your shoulder blades together. Okay, come back to center. We'll move into puppy pose. So widen your knees a little bit and reach your hands forward. So this is like child's pose, but your hips are going to stay over your knees. You can rest either your forehead or your chin on the mat. Again, you don't want any violence in your shoulders here, so take care. Another option if your shoulders hurt in this pose is to just fold each forearm over each other and rest your head on your forearms. Just enjoy the opening of your pelvis, Allow your abdomen to relax down to the floor. And enjoy the opening of your chest and upper back. And check in with your thoughts here. Where is your mind? And thinking about the concept of AHIMSA. And notice whether your thoughts may be violent or non-violent toward yourself or others. And then pressing up a little, keep your elbows down on the floor as we start to come into our Sphinx pose. So stretch your legs back and gently bring your abdomen down to the floor. And tuck your elbows in so they're right underneath your shoulders. And then draw those shoulders back. Back and down so you create space and length for your neck. We'll just stay in Sphinx pose for a few breaths, just creating a nice opening through the front side of our bodies. Keep your neck long. Notice if you're crunching it back and creating violence there. Just keep it long and spacious and free. Good. And now come down to lay on your stomachs. And let's bring our hands out to the side. Like this. And we're going to do a few twists here on the mat. So bend your right knee and start to lift your right thigh off the floor, bringing your right foot over your left leg. So again, you can just do little twists here, or maybe you can come all the way over to touch your right toes to the ground. Let's do a few moving here. So let's roll through center, bend your left knee up, and roll to the other side. Let's do one more each side, rolling over, enjoying the fact that we can do this movement with our bodies. And then when you're on your right foot over your left leg, let's hold it for a few breaths. You can even take your right hand to the ground and give a little extra push into the ground. And I don't want you to feel any stress in your left shoulder. So if you do, just come out of it a little bit. Find the right position for you. Should feel good and opening, like a nice stretch. And then let's switch. And we'll come back to center, laying on your stomach. Take a breath here. So let's do a little locust series here. So clasp your hands behind you and roll your shoulders up towards the ceiling and down towards your heels. And we'll just start by lifting the head, neck, and chest. Lifting up, pulling back towards your heels, getting a nice chest opening. Let's do 2 more breaths. And come down and rest your head to one side. Good, and now clasp your hands again. And this time we're going to lift the legs as well. But first draw your shoulders back and down, and then go ahead and all together lift chest, head, and legs. 5 breaths. And when you've reached 5 breaths, come down and rest your head to the other side. And let's press up into a nice child's pose with our knees wide, big toes together. Reach your hips back to your heels as you reach your arms out long. Allow your belly to relax and your chest to head downwards towards the floor. And here's a nice position to check in with our thoughts and our feelings. And check in with the concept of nonviolence. Maybe send some compassion towards yourself. Okay, we're going to do a few lunges, so just head on up to all fours. And we're still warming up here, so we'll just take your right foot between your hands, reach your left leg back, maybe lift the left knee up, and we'll do some nice rocking forward and back. Feel that hip flexor on the left side opening. If you've been sitting throughout the day, you might really feel a nice stretch on your hip flexor on the left side here. Excellent. Okay, let's switch. Left foot forward. Do some nice gentle rocks. Again, if this is causing you any stress, you can always just leave your knee on the ground and just feel a nice gentle lunge stretch. Okay, and then I'll come out of that one. Let's go into our downward facing dog. Plant your hands, tuck your toes, and we'll gently lift your hips up to the ceiling into our first down dog. So you can do what feels good if you want to just have a static down dog here, or move your legs, bending your knees, maybe twisting your hips side to side. Just listening into your body and doing what it feels like. Good, and now we'll gently walk our feet towards our hands to the top of your mat. Just hang,
open up your feet to the edges of your mat and hang in a wide Uttanasana, forward fold. Clasp your elbows with your hands. Just do some nice gentle rocking side to side. Good, and come find yourself back into your center of your Uttanasana. Walk your feet back underneath your hips. And then we'll gently roll up vertebrae by vertebrae to standing. Okay, let's stand in our Uttanasana here. Our Tadasana. Just feel your feet grounding into the earth. And as your feet ground down, feel the energy of the ground pushing back up through your body. Feel that force through your feet, your ankles, up through your legs, to your pelvis, which is right over your ankles, through the center line of your body, your shoulders sitting right on top of the hips. And then bring your head back slightly so that it's on top of your shoulders. Just noticing your breath and feeling that grounding force. Now raise your arms over your head and we'll do some back and forth crescent moon, just moving our body side to side. And then let's go to the right and hold for 3 breaths. And then up and over to the left, keeping your right shoulder back. Back to center. Bring your hands down to your low back and extend, arching your back, opening your chest. And then come all the way down into your forward fold. Uttanasana. If you'd like a little extra here, you can always grab behind your calves, give a little pull. And then we'll inhale as you roll up to stand. Excellent. Let's do Parshvottanasana, or pyramid pose, next. So step your right foot forward, left foot back. And they should be like on train tracks. So there's a little space between each foot. And then you can either bring your hands straight down to the floor, or level 2 is clasp your elbows behind you. And then exhale, lift your chest and come into your forward fold, bowing towards your leg. And you can always bring your hands down to the floor if you like. And draw your left hip forward and your right hip back. Good, and we'll gently come back up and switch. Left foot forward, right foot back. Choose your arm position And exhale, forward fold. And we'll come back up and step back to your center in Tadasana. Take a breath. I feel like doing some triangle here, so let's walk our feet out to the side and we'll rotate your right foot out. Bring your arms out to the side and we'll exhale. Come into your triangle on the right side. Lengthen through your side bodies. Just feel the joy and the opening this pose brings. Good, and we'll come back to center. Rotate your right foot in and your left foot out. And exhale. Come into triangle on your left. Again, if any of this is bothering you or creating pain today, you can always make modifications or stand in Tadasana. The purpose of today is to create nonviolence in our bodies and in our thoughts. And come back to center. And let's rotate your feet to point front. And we'll come straight into our standing forward fold. We'll come all the way down. And exhale, round. You can bring your hands to be in line with your feet, or you can even draw your hands through your legs, fingers pointing back towards the back wall. Walk your hands back forward. Maybe your feet walk in a little bit. We'll come back up to standing. Good. Just shake your legs out. Okay, we're going to come into a little yogi squat. So if you need some height under your hips, that's totally fine. Or even if you're just sitting in a chair, we'll just bring the pelvis down to the floor, to our malasana. So I've got some height under my hips today. Let's just kind of move back and forth, like just opening up through the groin, the pelvis. Okay, now let's find ourselves on our backs. Take a moment here. And then hug your right knee into your chest. And then straighten your right leg, holding behind your thigh. We'll just do some gentle ankle circles. 5 directions one way, and then 5 times the other way. Good, and let's switch sides. Let's bring your left knee into your chest. Bring your knee towards your shoulder, your left shoulder. And straighten your left leg. And we'll do ankle rolls, 5 in each direction. And bring that leg down. Let's bring your left knee in again. Your right knee. And with either your leg straight or bent, just going to bring that right leg out to the side. Just opening up through the inner right leg. And then we'll bring it across your body. Again, knee can be bent or straight. I feel like having it bent today. And we'll give a nice spinal twist. Good, and let's switch. Left knee up, and then out to the side. And then up and over into your spinal twist, drawing your left shoulder blade towards the floor. And connect with your breath. And roll back to center and hug both of your knees in. And we'll do some gentle rocking. You can go side to side or front and back if that feels okay. Just roll out your spine and then come all the way up to our seat. Okay, bring your legs out in front of you. Hands behind, just give them a little shake. Just bounce your legs on the ground, massaging out your calves and your hamstrings. This feels pretty good. Let's do a little massage here. So take your fists and just do a nice tapotment. Just getting your quads nice and massaged. Maybe some tapping on your legs, your feet if you can reach them. Saying, thanks legs for carrying me through this life. Okay, let's do a little Janu Shirshasana. So let's draw your left foot to your inner thigh. And we'll reach up and exhale, stretch over your right leg. And we'll walk back up and switch. Left leg forward, right foot in. This is one where if you feel like your back kind of rounds, you can sit on some height, sit on a blanket or something. Inhale the arms up and exhale forward over the left leg. And we'll walk back up. Good. Let's bring your right leg forward. Let's move into a butterfly position. So Your right leg in, left leg in. Nice opening here. Just sit up nice and tall. If you need to bring your hands behind you, that's good. So you get the pelvis lifting up, chest lifting. Take a few breaths. Okay. Next, we're going to do a little guided meditation before we move into our Shavasana. So I wanted to leave a little time for that. So I'd like to do this seated, but if you feel more comfortable laying down, that's okay too. So you can grab your blankets or your pillow, get those hips high so that your hip flexors can relax. Just get in that cross-legged position. So the first thing we'll do is it's called the Kapota Mudra. And mudras are just a way to hold your hands to invoke a certain kind of energy flow through your body. So the way to do this is first just bring your hands into Namaste. Your palms are pressing towards each other. And then just bend your knuckles and create some space between your palms. It's kind of like you're cupping something precious or something delicate. And so this Kapota Mudra, Kapota means dove, which is the symbol of peace. And this is the AHIMSA Mudra, or nonviolence or peace. So close your eyes and just notice what this mudra may invoke within you. Just breathe. There's no right or wrong answer. Just noticing any sensations you're feeling. Maybe in the palms of your hands or in your heart center. Begin to direct your breath into your heart. Just rest into the peace and inner silence and joy of your heart. Envision a white dove with open wings, maybe between your hands or within your heart. And this is a symbol of non-violence at all levels of your being, inside and out. And with your next breath, vow peace towards your physical body. You can chant Om Shanti, which means peace, either out loud or silently. Om Shanti towards your physical body. Now expand that peace. You may envision a kind of a circle of light around your physical body, and now vow peace to your thoughts and your feelings. Create greater self-acceptance and inner peace. Now we'll expand that light and peace towards your family and your friends and your community.
So if certain people come to mind, allow them in. With each breath, we're expanding that peace to ourselves and to our friends. Now we'll expand that peace to other human beings who we don't know, but are part of our human being family. Maybe even to people we don't like. Maybe picture someone you don't like and just envelop them in peace. And we'll just expand that circle even larger so it encompasses all living beings and into the environment. Everything not living. And just notice how that feels to expand your inner peace outward. And then return from out there, return inward to that dove within your heart. And breathe. My mantra for today, which you're welcome to use too, is practicing nonviolence at all levels of my being. I experience complete inner and outer peace. Say it one more time. Practicing nonviolence at all levels of being, I experience complete inner and outer peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. We'll move into our Shavasana now, so you can rest your hands down to your thighs, lay on your back. Just allow your spine to rest into the floor. If you have something to put under your knees, you're welcome to do that. Here in our Shavasana, we can enjoy that sense of peace within ourselves that we have evoked during this practice. Bring awareness back into your body. Do some gentle movements. Take a deep breath as you draw your knees into your chest and roll to your side. Just pause on your side. Rest into the earth. Pago's saying hi to everyone. Gently come up to sitting. Now lay down. Good boy. We'll end with Om Shanti 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 together. Bring your hands to your heart. Press your palms together. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. May the light in me see and honor the light in you and all beings. Namaste.